Okay, the purpose of this first talk session here is to provide instruction in terms of accessing the Invesco Real Estate FTP site, which is a site you will use to pull down all materials from the firm, such as the broker offering memorandum, if it's a commercial deal, the Argus, and associated due diligence collateral like property tax bills and so forth. So the first thing you need to do is open up Internet Explorer. Chrome does not work particularly well with this. And you will go up and you will enter the following website, imft.invesco.com. So https imft.invesco.com. And you will click. Okay, the username is IVZ_GEO01P. The password is capital G, the number 3, lowercase ORGE, and the exclamation point. So again, the password is capital G3, lowercase ORGE, in the exclamation point. Okay, once you're into this, I call it the FTP site, I'm not sure what the proper term is. You see this outbox, so you'll click on the outbox, and within this outbox we'll have all of the transactions that we have been working on with Invesco. So you'll go in here and find your specific transaction. So you can see these are all a variety of deals. And essentially, Invesco has posted this information on their side so that we can pull down on our side. So let's just assume we would be looking at 2100 Ross. You would click on 2100 Ross. And within here, you have everything that Invesco has posted. The first things that I'm most interested in is the offering materials, so I will click in offering materials, and it might be called something different each time. There's no real standard here. But the thing that I'm trying to access first and foremost is the broker offering memorandum. So I will click on the offering memorandum, and that will download. And I'm on the Wi-Fi, so that might take a little bit of time. But you would click download, and let's just see if this takes too long, I will stop it. But essentially what you want to do is to save the broker's offering memorandum from the FTP site to your desktop or to a file that you will be using to do the work. So you can see now the offering memorandum has come up. So you will save that somewhere. So let's close that. And we can go up here to the offering materials, and you'll find the Argus model is also in here. So you will need to open up the Argus model from the lab on the first floor of the building, because you're not able to open Argus unless you actually have an Argus, the Argus software on your computer. Seeing as you don't have it on your computers individually, you'll need to go to the lab on the first floor, and you'll simply download that. Now I'm going to show you quickly how to do this so that it's clear. So when we download it, you will open it up, and the Argus will launch. And this is the broker Argus file. So what you then need to do is go to File, you need to go to Copy, and you need to select the duplicate file option, and go to wherever you're doing your work. So I'm going to go to the desktop, create a 2100 Ross folder, folder, and I'm going to open that. And the naming convention for the Argus is always 2100 Ross, so whatever the property name is, underscore IRE. So that's how we name the Argus file for Invesco purposes. So we'll save that. And so it says, do you want to open up the newly created file? You say yes. And now you can begin to work on this file itself. So that's how you download the Argus. In the offering materials, you'll find that there are oftentimes other data or other pieces of information that they put in there. For instance, property taxes would be one. I'm always looking for property tax bills because it makes your life much easier. So you can go in here and you'll find some of these other materials that they've posted under the diligence materials section. And if you go in here, for instance, you'll find the property tax bills. You would likely go in and download those as well, just so you have it. Now, you'll learn over time that you don't need everything. So, for instance, I would not download the historical operating statements and the historical occupancy. You can look at it because that's relevant, but the stuff you need for the underwriting specifically is the real estate tax piece. So I'd go into the real estate taxes and I would open that up, and within there would be the bills, the tax bills, and you can see there are 3 tax parcels for this property. So I would open up each and every one of these individually and save it to that same file folder that you're using so that you can come back and reference this file. So that's how you obtain materials from the FTP site. Now, probably the most important thing that you need to do is, if you are inactive in this website for too long, it will time out. And what happens then, and I don't know the exact length of time, but essentially it will block anybody from getting into the site for, call it, 30 minutes as it resets itself. The easiest way to ensure that you don't trigger that is to formally log out. And then click close to the browser. If you don't do that, it will cause problems with the system. So when you go into the FTP site, I would encourage you to go in, get what you need, click the log out function. If you need to go back in, you can log back in. But we're going to make mistakes with this over time, and somebody's going to allow the thing to time out, and it's going to block everybody from trying to get into it. In the event that we're towards the end of a due date, or there's a time that something is due, there's a lot of people trying to get in, and it can create a lot of problems. So my suggestion to you would be to sort of organize yourself in that manner. So that concludes the session on downloading data from the website itself.